Welcome. You have opened the hatch with your listening device. Inside is another dimension. A dimension of weightlessness, a dimension of new sights, new sounds, new experiences. A dimension of total zen. You have entered the Deco Chamber.
Failure is not an option.
Master at Arms, take that man below and clap him in irons.
Mr. Emmett, take her down. Make your depth 150 feet, 10 degree down, Bubba.
150 feet, 10 degree down, Bubba. Aye, sir.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Here in the Deco Chamber, we are non-denominational about diving. We will talk about everything from floating in a pool to technical diving and everything before, during, and after. Feel free to send us your stories, anecdotes, or anything you would like to hear discussed. This episode is brought to you by the following sponsors. The law offices of Eric J. Durga for all your legal needs at ejdirga.com. Northwind Training for the best in personal enrichment training, northwindtraining.com. Wise Move Home Inspection. For all your South Florida home inspection needs, we've got you covered. wisemovehomeinspection.com. And Tim's Undersea Adventures, where you learn to scuba dive and your adventure begins. timsunderseaadventures.com.
Please note, we are not a scuba diving training facility. Diving is a serious sport that contains risks. It can be a lot of fun, but it can also kill you. Scuba diving places human beings in an environment they are not adapted to. Proper training and equipment are necessities to dive. Our discussions are meant to share diving experiences. None of our discussions should be considered scuba diver training. Our discussions will not qualify anyone to try anything we have discussed. You must be certified to dive and experienced. If you are, have fun. If you are not, get certified before you dive and then dive with a buddy. A lot. Experience everything you learn and do not rush your training. Do not dive outside your comfort zone or limits of your training or try anything we talk about. The opinions presented here are those of the hosts and guests. They are not necessarily those of any sponsor or advertiser.
So let's secure the hatch, begin equalizing, pressurize the chamber, and have some fun.
All right, gentlemen, here we are, the first episode of the Deco Chamber podcast for hopefully our new listeners out there. I'm Jerry, PADI Master Instructor, Technical Instructor, dam instructor, EFR instructor trainer, and
But easier if you just name the stuff you don't instruct.
also
have a trailer going down.
there you go. Nah, not quite that good, but I also have an instructor rating with the Handicapped Scuba Association and been diving since I was 13 in 1980. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Okay. Well, my name is Tim Van. I'm also a PADI Master Instructor, also an EFR Emergency Instructor Trainer, and I've been diving for about 21 years. Traveled a lot, and also taking a cave intro.
And I'm Eric Durgan. I've been diving for about 3.5 years. I don't know why these guys are even hanging around with me. But instructor as of last year, and that's about it right now.
Yeah.
Soon to be technical diver.
That's
Soon to
right.
be technical diver, yes. After a year of working on that.
Just get everything else done, we'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much what we're trying to accomplish is just get together, do some diving, and talk about what we enjoy doing, and go from there.
Absolutely. Now, I think first thing we're talking about, I guess, for our first podcast, I think is a very important subject, and that is buoyancy. For every diver, that's what every diver achieves to have, is buoyancy. And oh man, do I've got some stories about that. You know, it doesn't matter if you've been diving for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or just got certified last week, right? you don't do a certain number of dives a year, I think you're really not going to maintain a good level. What do you think?
Buoyancy is probably the one thing that you learn in your initial class that you don't automatically perfect. It's something you have to work on, every dive. Because, we've all been diving for several years, and it's not perfect. It'll never be perfect. It's kind of one of those Zen pieces of diving that you keep working on and keep working on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're always, at least I'm always telling, I know you are always telling your students, it's gonna come. You just gotta keep working on it.
Yep.
And it's different for everybody. There's that little sweet spot that you'll eventually find where it works for you. And I think in the initial stages, stay off of the bottom.
For sure.
That is not where you learn buoyancy. You learn it in the midwater.
Oh, gosh. So one time I was out and we were on a dive boat, and there was this one guy. He was in his mid to upper 50s, and I'm watching him put his gear together. I mean, a lot of it was pretty old. And I noticed as soon as he picked up a weight belt, it had about 30 pounds of lead on it. I just had to chime in because he didn't have a wetsuit or anything. He was just in his bathing suit. And 30 pounds seemed a little bit too heavy. And he goes, "Oh no, I've been diving this since before you were born. I've never had a problem. I'm a really good diver with great buoyancy." I said, "That's cool. Okay, let's see. Maybe he's really buoyant and needs all that lead." Well, we get in the water, and then boom, down he goes like a rock, and just hits the bottom hard. And the entire dive, I kid you not, he was hand and knees on the bottom, going over the reef system, the coral, and everything. And I tried to talk to him afterwards about it, and he just thought he was like the best diver on the boat, and nowhere near it. You touch the reef, you kill the reef.
Exactly.
I was born and raised here in Florida, so I've been very blessed with the type of diving, and I've seen our reef system just go down the toilet. And that's a prime example why. So we shouldn't have a chip on our shoulder when someone gives us information.
No, that's one of the things when teaching that you try to stress, because when we're doing open water, we're not going to the ocean. We're taking them to a lake, and they can mess around in the sand all they want, but getting them to realize that touching the reef is a no-no is a big one, because we've all been on dives.
Well, most people, even though they'll read it or hear about it on TV, they don't believe it's actually a living thing. They think, okay, it's a rock that I'm leaning on.
Right.
Well, no, it was actually a living animal that you just killed.
Because you want to take a picture or something that, because you don't have buoyancy to maintain your position in the water.
Yeah. And this is a big thing. Like for me, I do underwater photography, so I'm very conscious about the reef system. I'm very conscious about my buoyancy. I don't grab the reef, in order to be still while I get that perfect angle and wait for that perfect shot. You use your breath control for fine tuning after you add just enough air into your BCD, and you just hold it. If the current takes you away, then the current takes you away. There'll be something else further down the line that you can take a picture of.
Decompression schedule complete. It's time to gear up and splash. See you in the water. Until next time, this is Sam, the Deco Chamber. Cheer up with us on Blogspot, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to visit our sponsors, EJDIRGA.com, NorthwindTrainings.com, WiseNewHomeInspection.com, and Tim'sUndersea.adventures.com. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor, contact us at DecoChamber@gmail.com.